Live. We are indeed live with the one and only, one of the most talked about individuals in battle rap today. I'm here with A Ward, man. What's good?
Yo, what's up, bro? I'm busy, man. I'm tired. And yeah, man, I've been doing well though for real though, man. I've enjoyed your podcast. I've enjoyed your material. I
Appreciate
enjoyed
that.
seeing the clips that you post and everything, man. So I know I've been on here once with you before.
Uh huh.
It's good to see things continuing to take off and your consistency. So I'm glad to be back.
Man, that means a lot. I did not pay him to say that. No, I did not. But I appreciate that. It's been a whirlwind for you, man. You've been traveling all over, going against stiff, incredible competition. I seen you show your resume. You know, you battling rigs pretty much in the South. You know, you got battles coming up against the likes of Fonz and Lou. Like, is there a point in your career, and it's probably not anytime soon, that you're gonna be like, I think I'm gonna scale back and do maybe hit y'all with three or four, maybe within a calendar year, or that's just not in your genes to really do that.
Now it might be there. What happened was I remember my second year that I kind of got on like the bigger platforms. I think it was 2017. I battled DNA, Peanut, and like D-Lo in Oklahoma City, and that
Mm.
was my only three battles that year. And I remember like it driving me nuts just watching everybody else battle. And this was a time too when it wasn't even like events every month like there is now.
Mm.
Like with everybody. And I remember saying to myself, like, never again. Like, I'm not sitting back and waiting ever again because I think I missed out on Massacre with King of the Dot because they couldn't find an opponent to take me.
Mm.
And like, I just remember the feeling of like always having to sit back and wait on somebody to like select you for an event, you know. And I'm like, nah, that's not how that's not how I'm doing this, you know. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna create, a situation for myself to be to where like if I want to be on a stage, I could be on the stage. If I want to battle, I can battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just didn't like sitting back and only battling three or four times. Um, Now is this year have I done a little too much? Probably, but I also think that my stock and my presence in battle rap is as high as it's ever been. So
That's a
I don't
fact.
I don't think anybody that can say you're taking too many battles can sit back and say, yeah, Ward's not like he's fell back from 2020. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, so if you think I've taken too many battles, fine. But I think my stock and what I've been doing this year has got me in a position to where I'm as high paid as I've ever been. I'm getting the bigger stages and all of that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, I mean, proofs in the pudding. I believe you were on the last two max out cards, which did
mhm.
really well. Widespread acclaim and praise and views. Like the numbers are looking good. Shout out to ARP and
Yeah.
RBE. The reason I started off with that question, because everything is a setup. I'm a setup punchline guy. The
Okay.
thing
Okay.
the thing the reason I set that up, because there was a gentleman on here from Ohio. His name is Fonz. You might have heard of him. Um,
Time or two. Yeah.
yeah, Tom or two, and he it's in his belief that maybe you're taking so many battles to the point that you're in. This is his quote: your material's getting watered down. That's what he said. He brought up your battle with XL, and then he brought up the rumblings of what people thought was a debatable battle against Rosenberg, where I guess assumed you were the heavy favorite going into that battle. I
Yeah.
always knew that was a tough battle because he brings his best efforts on that stage, on that platform. So I never thought that, but
Yeah.
he played on those two. Um, Situations where he felt like you wasn't at your most potent. Like, what do you say to Fonz when he says something like that to you?
First off, I say, have you ever stood in front of 1,500 people and tried to rock a crowd for 3 rounds?
Mm.
So before you talk about Rosenberg, like once again, like get on that stage, like Fonz literally made his name rapping in front of his peers in a studio, in a studio with cameras. So I really don't take much to that. I, on the other hand, am one of the rare type battle rappers who owned up to the XL joint. That
Mm-hmm.
that was a situation where I took three battles in three completely different locations: New York, Atlanta, and California. 3 weekends in a row, all three battles, 3 rounds. And like I don't think I would position myself to do something like that again.
Mm-hmm.
What happened though? I went into the XL battle. I put together three complete rounds. I wrapped the complete time limit. Like I feel like I lost the battle, 2-1 or whatever. and I just said I lost. Like, I mean, if you want to talk about that, then yeah, that was probably watered down material from me, positioning myself incorrectly with taking those 3 battles, 3 back-to-back weeks. But outside of that, like I said earlier, bro, like my material, my performances, everything that I've done this year, you can go back and watch the clips. You can look at the Riggs battle. You can look at the Ill Will battle. You can look at the Arsenal 1-rounder that was crazy. You can look at my debut on Queen of the Ring with K Profit that was crazy. You can look at the clean W against Shotgun Suge that was really, really good as well. You know what I mean? Like there's no watered down nothing. It's just, I mean, right now, unfortunately, he just needs to reach for reasons, to find like some flaws in what I'm doing. And the most notable one is that I'm battling a lot.
Skill wise, because you guys will.
Let me ask you this though:
okay.
If I'm battling a lot and I'm watered down, why is it that you're not battling a lot and you're still watered down?
Oh, come on, we doing that. So that's why I was going with his material. You don't think his material?
If I only battle 4 times a year, I guarantee you my material will be a lot better than what he's had.
So we had to look at his resume. What was his recent battles? His battles, JC. He battled. He did battle on some smaller circuits, and I saw you allude to the viewership in that
because he probably lost that battle.
and he's not a battler who battles often, so I guess he would want you to be in that mode that he's in, but y'all are battling, y'all are in 2 totally different circumstances.
He just set himself up though. So what happens if we have a debatable, right? What happens if we have a debatable? What's his excuse? Because he ain't battled in a long time, and my content's watered down, and I battled Ryder the next day.
Yeah. Now that's disrespectful, though. That's very disrespectful. What are you that confident in? Because you just said you learned from your mistakes and with taking the XL after that. So what would make you even contemplate going again with Fonz and Ryder, 2 really established guys that close together? Like, what would give you that confidence after you just had the XL battle where you felt that you lost?
Because I don't even have to ride around to be the ride around.
Yo, don't do that.
That's why.
Don't do that. Ryder has improved leaps and bounds over the years. You definitely got to write at least something.
We're gonna see. Wait.
That's crazy.
No. But straight up, I mean, we booked this out in advance. I originally was taking 3 battles that weekend. If you remember,
you had clips.
And I mentioned that, like, man, so many people like try to discredit what I do because it's not on URL, and I have to work twice as hard, bro. I have to work twice as hard as everybody else to get like the notoriety and stuff like that. Like Cass is not saying anything about me being, a debuting on Queen of the Ring and having a crazy battle with K Profit. You know what I mean? That battle should have been reviewed by everybody. Like K Profit got crazy in it as well. She deserves her flowers for the performance that she put on, which is one of the best female performances of the year against me, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But like, I have to turn around and I have to do crazy things. I have to freestyle and smoke some dude in the parking lot, and I have to do things like this because I don't just get to go have a caffeine battle or this type battle or whatever. And now all of a sudden I'm back at the top of the world. I have to put it in overdrive. So I took battles back to back to say like, yo, War goes in there. I'm going to Cleveland to battle Fonz and to the DMV to battle Ryder. Like another thing we don't give credit to is away games. We don't give enough credit in battle rap to away games.
I agree.
Ever. Like one of the reasons Arsenal is one of the GOATs, like, is because he would always go everywhere and battle. Averb, a GOAT, he would go everywhere and battle everybody else, bro. Like I'm going to Cleveland to battle. I battled Riggs in Georgia. I battled the Kid Clutch in Cali, and then I battled
in the alley
or in LA Compton in the alley.
In the alley, yeah.
Alley in freaking And then I turned around and battled XL in Staten Island, right on the East Coast. Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to trying to create different things to make people realize like I'm really about that life when it comes to battling, So.
Yeah. And I see like the back and forth and for people who don't know, like it's all sarcastic fun, taking shots at one another. So when he's like makes the comments and things like that, like there's a respect there. But also I know with every little joke, there's a little bit of truth to it.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Oh yeah.
Do you like when you look at the landscape that both like all these leagues are going to tournament seasons or whatever, what have you? Do you ever foresee yourself joining that, or you feel like there's like some type of, I guess the word would be there's some, I guess some consequences to joining that as far as freedom to do what you do, as like a lot of people I would prefer to do is like freelance and tap everywhere, even overseas if you have to. Do you see a drawback in that, or could it be a never say never thing where you might possibly join a tournament or a season
Yeah,
if
I'll never
everything
say
works out?
never, but I mean, at this point, every tournament I've been offered, and I've said this multiple times, the pay for the battle has been like 50% of what you normally get paid, because the idea is that there is a bigger bag at the end
At
of
the
the
end of the
tournament.
tunnel, yeah.
And I, for one, just I don't want to sit here and risk my stock. I don't want to go in here and I don't even like judge battles anyway. I don't think that there's a really clear and concise way to judge battles. I think we're getting better at it, you know. But there's so many battles that I've seen where
But
I'm
you
like,
judged the battle. I seen you in Premier Battles judging.
yeah, I did. And honestly, I went back and I was like, dang, that's difficult. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Um, and like I just wouldn't want to put myself in a position for 5 people to hand me a loss. You know what I mean? For me
Yeah.
to, I'm battling somebody I wouldn't have wanted to battle in the first place, right? I'm getting paid less than when I get in the first place, and I'm having people. You know what I mean? So
So
like
you don't
to me,
see any benefits really in it
oh yeah, there's benefits, but not from. I
for
don't
you.
see I don't see the big benefit from guys that are like on the level that I'm on. Not to sound, like UM1, amazing benefits. UM4, amazing benefits, right? Like it's all there, you
Mm.
know. Um, Season, you're finding new faces, and a lot of these guys, a good amount of these guys, I don't know. I can't sit here and say what Real Deal, Sharon, Disaster, and all of them got paid. I don't know. I don't know what their pay structure was like, but I
Mm.
do know that if they went into it and got paid a very small amount than what they're normally due to lose to a Times or to lose to a Saint or to lose to a, like it didn't do anything for them. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
But it did help the platform. It did help the platform and draw some eyes to that. So yeah, it's just kind of got to be a very I don't know. We would have to just have those discussions, like, and we had to get to a point to where I was comfortable with, the amount getting paid and all that good stuff. So
You also got a brother who's I feel like finally getting his just due. It's, as you know, it can go either way when you join a faction or a team or a crew, whatever. Sometimes you can get overshadowed even if you put in hard work. And I'm speaking on Lou Castro, someone who you will be facing very very soon, of September, I believe, right?
yeah,
And you'll be facing him. Talk about how that matchup came about, and what's your level of excitement for that one, and how do you defeat someone like that who got so much energy? He got bars, he got a lot of presence, and I know his promo game gonna be stupid with you. So like all of that, like tell me about that going into that matchup.
yeah, man, this battle's been set up for like probably 4 months, 4 or 5 months, a long
Wow.
time. Yeah. And one, like Luke Castro's he's an incredible talent, and that's another thing. You know how you said there's half truths and everything with the tweet
Absolutely.
that everybody was posting. I was like, bro, like Easy the Block Captain, Jada Nightwing, Real Sick, Ace. I mean, like a lot of these dudes, they're incredible talents. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I really firmly believe that. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of watching a lot of these guys' battles. Doesn't take away from the fact that I do still believe the premise of it was like, hey, put together a tournament, give people clear wins, grab some new guys, get people excited about battle rap during a pandemic, and help build stars. It's a perfect business model.
Mm-hmm.
They benefited from it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in a certain situation. But Luke Castro was another one of those guys that and honestly, after UM1, I think he was kind of like further down on the list of like, the high ceiling potential type guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's made the most of his opportunities as of late in probably the last 6 months, with the Mike P battle and the 2-on-2 and everything. So now I'm very excited. Shout out to my guy Gutta. You're familiar with Gutta. Gutta's battled on URL before. He
Absolutely.
helped orchestrate, put it all together. Austin, Texas is an amazing city. I've done South by Southwest down there before.
Nice.
And it's a great city in Texas, man. It's just so much fun. So it's going to be in Austin. It's going to be 3 rounds. And then, yeah, I'm just super excited. The culture is putting it on. I believe that's what they go about. But yeah, I'm super excited about it, man.
How, how
And
much do
yeah,
you pander? How much would you pander? Because like
people
some
always say that I pander, but like, bro, I literally do the opposite. I do the opposite of pandering, bro. I wore the Chiefs jersey in Oakland.
I
I
remember
literally,
that.
like
Well,
I
that's
go
your
in.
team for real though. That's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
I know you ride with them.
Yeah, I was performing in Chicago and I was like, y'all pick Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and just started laughing at him. You know what I mean? Like, so
That was funny.
I'm petty too. So my pandering is petty too. But yeah.
So you gonna wear a Sooner joint, a Sooner throwback up in Austin?
No.
you you trying to make it
Never.
out alive?
No, when it comes to college, bro, I'm Tennessee through and through. That's it, bro. Like that's it. So I wouldn't even rock no other. But it should be fun though. Austin should be fun.
Yeah, and so you got that going on. Do you have what else you got going on? Because I feel like I'm missing one. You got
A little bit of everything. It seems like so. We got the Fonz battle. Then we got the Ryder battle. We got the Lou Castro
and
battle.
Luke Castro,
Yeah.
and so
Um,
with Ryder, which one was booked first? Was Ryder or Lou booked first for
it's
you?
weird. They both. So what happened was that both leagues hit me up, and this is one thing I've got to learn to do better with. Leagues that hit you up and say, "Yo, I want this battle, but I don't have a date yet." You know, and you'll be like, "All right, bet. Well, I'm free that month. You know what I mean? Like I have availability. You know, I'd love to do it. Let's do it. You know." This situation actually happened where both leagues hit me up. Both leagues sent me like a small deposit for me to just lock in, availability. And then both leagues picked that weekend,
Right.
And so I was kind of like, dang. So obviously, like I said, like it provides an opportunity for me to go, into two people's houses and get W's. So
Sure.
I looked at it from a great standpoint in that aspect. But ideally, I would never just go out there and just book, things like that. But we're gonna make them both happen. The Riders of one rounder, Fonz is three, so we
Okay.
will have fun. So
And somebody was asking that. Is what is Lou? Is Lou one or a three?
lose three.
Lewis is 3 rounder, Ryder's
Yep.
one. Now it's funny because you had this gauntlet set up, but now Ryder got a gauntlet set up because
Yeah.
the day before he battles Don Marino, Civil War URL app battle. Um, because I asked Fonz when he found out your lineup, did he feel a little disrespect? He said absolutely. Like he was pissed that he found that out. He said if he would have found that out beforehand, actually he said he wouldn't even took the battle with you. That's how mad he was at that.
He
Um,
should be happy because if he thinks that, then he should win clearly. It's at home.
I like that. I like what you're doing there. I like
Right,
what
it's at home, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, I would never be mad. I would like the ability to clearly be. Look, another thing is this, bro. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. Here you go. Here you go. Let's talk battle rap. Ready for this? All right. Hold on. Let me smile.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing these cats a favor, bro. I'm doing Fonz. I'm doing Lou Castro. I'm doing Ryder a favor.
Mm.
I'm giving them their biggest YouTube drop battles of the year. If there's one thing that these guys don't get is the ability to be seen on YouTube because they're all regulated to an app. You know what I mean?
All right.
So they don't have hundreds of thousands of view battles on YouTube anymore. YouTube battles produce a different audience, a wider audience, produce the ability for them to share clips of them wigging and spazzing on me on their social media without Quarter Lab taking them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like they should be excited, bro. Like don't get mad. Come in there and smoke me. Get your YouTube, your YouTube views up. Now your Playboy X's and all these guys can chop down these things and put them in the best of compilations and stuff like that. Like this is y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome because people are excited, and all three of y'all are headlining. You're welcome. You know what the common denominator in all three headlines are?
I'm gonna guess you're gonna say A-Ward, right?
You're welcome.
You are a mess, dog. You are a mess. So then I'll get that answers the question. You don't feel no type of way about about Ryder taking Don Marino before?
Oh, absolutely not. Oh no, absolutely not. No.
That means the pressure's on you to smoke him now.
Yeah. It's a one rounder. I mean, I'm not one of them dudes. Like if I say I'm gonna smoke you, sometimes everybody knows how it is. We're all professional battle rappers, right? Like Ryder's a talent. I'm a talent. It's a one rounder. If I go first, it's probably gonna be a debatable one rounder. If I go second, I'm probably gonna win because I'm gonna rebuttal everything he says. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's no reason to worry per se. Like nobody puts the fear of God. one person, 2 times have I ever been scared. I'll say scared, but like looked at a battle like, whoa. And that was Real Deal, my first pay-per-view battle ever on a big stage, and Ill Will, my first, RBE main stage, Cassidy Holla, and just knowing what Ill Will can do on that stage. That's 2 times where I've been like, yo, Ward, don't go die.
Wow. That says a lot. That's respect to both.
Yeah.
Those are legends.
And their names rhyme. That's crazy.
That's I was going to beat you to the punch, but you're a guest here, so I wanted to let you go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But another thing that Fonz alluded to, and this is something that holds near and dear to me, because this is something I always thought about. So I had the opportunity to ask him, because I'm looking at the new Midwest movement, them joining up, teaming up, trying to kind of recreate something of the past, but bring new energy to it. When you got the likes of himself and like Coogee, Truffaut, Piranha, you've always been missing from that. I've noticed. I'm like, wait a second. He reps the Midwest, true and proud. I see him all the time.
Yeah.
I remember I came out with like I don't know how I remember this, but I came out with like the Midwest top 10 all time, and I'm paraphrasing, but your quote was, "Soon, one day in a couple of years, I'm going to make this list, that top 10 Midwest all the time." You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So when I asked Fonz this about, appreciate you, Britt, appreciate that. Yeah. He said, "Yeah, I feel a way about that," and he said, "No, he should feel a way about that." Speaking about you, so in regards to the new Midwest movement, why have you kind of shied away from that, or said I'm good on that? And what are your thoughts on it as a whole? And is it even worth being a part of, in your opinion, or just your general thoughts on his comments about that?
One, I would first ask, like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, the new Midwest movement just means like we're in a new era of the Midwest. And so, like, at the end of the day, like, you can't take where the region I battle from away from me. So I am a part of the new Midwest movement. Now, if you're saying this is a cohort that you have created, or a group of battlers that are a part of it, like, no, I'm not in the group of the new Midwest movement. I've never been asked to be in the group of the new Midwest movement. I've never,
He said, I asked him, has he approached you guys? He said he shouldn't have to.
And that's where he got it twisted, right? Bro, like you just got here. I didn't just get here. You know what I mean? Okay. So from the jump in 2015, when I started battling, right, I took off. In 2016, the St. Mike battle was a battle of the year. I debuted on King of the Dot. I did all of this stuff 5 years ago. People get it twisted and think they think that like I'm a new, whatever. Like, I've been top 20 battler for 3 or 4 years in a row, So that's where you got it twisted. I don't have to attach myself to anything, nor do I, like, I'm Die Daily. That's the people I rock with, from a Christian artist standpoint. I'm YTG. That's really not even like a battle rap group. That's just like a kind of a group of just random battlers and artists and stuff like that, like, they just kind of rock with each other. And then I'm Horsemen, So I don't, bro, like, y'all got here and it started popping and created a name. And now all of a sudden somebody who you should be like, kind of like maybe looking up to and saying like, yo, Ward, like, I got some advice, boom, 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 let's chop it up. Now you're saying like, oh, I should reach out to you to join. Nah, like that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was getting them mixed up with, and I don't know if I did get them mixed up or if it's the same thing. I think they had a Midwest Alliance or something like that at one time too, or something like, and I don't know if they're like part of the same type people, right? But yeah, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I rock with the Midwest. I rep the Midwest everywhere I go. I battle, but like, I don't have to be a part of some kind of group that you created. And if it's not that, if it's just repping the Midwest, then of course I do it at the very top of the top level in battle rap.
Hey, there you go, Fonz. I guess the man has spoken. And yeah, so like, I guess my question would be, if he did approach you, so you would, even if he would have came to you, probably would have said, I'm good on it anyway, it sounds like.
Well, he probably will after he gets smoked. He probably be like, "Look, we need a new ambassador for this new Midwest movement." And no, I'm joking.
Yeah,
no,
yeah. I was
no,
about
but
to say because
yeah,
he gonna
like,
ask
because
for another interview after
no,
that.
I rock with Fonz. You know, we had him on our podcast and everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I rock with Fonz. You know, like I don't really know a lot of those other guys. You know, but I am very mindful of who I attach my name and my brand to. You know,
Absolutely.
um, and because I mean we're all in battle rap, right? Like adding people to the Horsemen. You know, being a part of YTG. The slip of a brother can create an angle for you. You know, or something. You
Absolutely.
know, so I don't know this new Midwest movement. I'm not just gonna attach my name to it. You know, there's something wild happened from somebody that I've never even had a conversation with, and now I gotta be attached to that. So
Yeah.
much love to them, much love to anybody putting on for the Midwest. We have it very difficult out here, bro. Like I don't get Kansas City battles. I just battled for the first time ever in St. Louis. I'm 4 hours from St. Louis. I've been battling for almost a little over 6 years now.
Yeah.
First time ever. We don't get those type events in that coverage. So shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out to O too, because I know he been wanting you on street status forever. So that was.
Bro, we just had a blast, bro. I can't wait till that battle comes
I
out. There's
wish I
been
was.
no clips. Yo, they did a great job. Nobody had phones out or nothing like that. You ain't seen no clips and nothing, man.
That's
But
fire.
it was a crazy, crazy battle. They packed that building out too, man. Shout out to O.
Yeah, shout out to O, man. I always say the reason I'm doing media is because of O giving me the confidence saying I can do this. So that's my guy for forever. Anytime you need me. Because I'm gonna say Fonz. He said a lot. He said a lot. Um,
Talk to me.
when he said your material's watered down, he had a problem with you being in the Midwest, not repping the Midwest movement. And then I said the whole Champion of the Year thing. Now I don't know this, but I think you're on course for Champion of the Year. But he said you probably wouldn't get it battling the people you battle off, because
Right.
you battle some big names, but you also give shots like like real like battlers do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see nothing wrong with that. But he alluded to that in your Champion of the Year kind of ascension from last year, I believe. The whole you being number 20 thing, which I
Yeah.
always thought was you was much better than number 20 in my
Yeah.
humble opinion. Are you mindful of that when you're taking certain battles? Does that play into who you get booked with now? Is that even a goal of yours? Maybe not to win it all, or to just be better than where you was placed last year. Is that any plays
It's
in your
always
mind at
a
all?
goal. It's not the winning it all is not the thing. Like
Right.
like I already said, man, I got to work twice as hard. I'm not on URL. It's
Mm-hmm.
very evident that like URL battles hold more weight in Champion of the Year, in discussions or whatever. So I'm fighting the uphill battle in that aspect. However, the platform that Jay Black has and like the professionalism and what he has going, is huge for your stock. It's huge for branding. It's huge for he's able to, with his words, his opinions, and his recaps, and him placing you on a list, dictate maybe money in your pocket, or maybe opportunities you get, or maybe fans wanting to see you create storylines and stuff like that. So to not be mindful of trying to position yourself in that top 20 to get more exposure would be silly. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I'm definitely mindful of that. However, like Fonz is like, that's not your line. Like you ever met somebody that you said something you like, yeah, I agree, but that's not your line.
That's not. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
Like
messenger.
that's not your line, because you only battled like I don't know how many times he battled this year, but I think he's only battled Av and JC,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And then
yeah. I think he's
and
battled.
then maybe one or two battles off of
Yeah.
URL, right? In
Yeah.
8 months. So, I battle Suge, I battle Nestle, I battle Riggs, I battle Ill Will, I battle Rosenberg Raw. I'm about to battle you. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's not your line, like the whole like you take too many battles against lower guys, like because those battles against giving people shots is like it doesn't work against you, it just doesn't necessarily work for you.
Yeah.
So like wipe all of that off, you know what I mean? Like say like your awards battle Suge, Nestle, Riggs, Ill Will, Rosenberg Raw, Excel, K Profit on Queen of the Ring, which I think should definitely count being a Queen of the Ring debut. You know what I mean? You're looking at 7, 8, 3-round battles, of solid competition on solid stages.
Yeah. That's true. Somebody said, Phenom the Gamer said, I just listened to your depressing joint with Loso. Fire.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
He said, will A Ward be cussing in this battle too?
You want to talk about you want to talk about cussing? We can talk about cussing, man, because it seems like it's been a little bit of a
It has been, but what like there's something to say, screw it, I'm just gonna let it fly. Like, did you watch something? Did y'all
nah.
come together, have a discussion? Like, what
You can't.
let's just go.
Yeah. No. So what it is, and it's always been this. One, I don't really. I think there's a difference in cussing and cursing. I think cursing is
Talk
you
about it.
know, putting somebody down with your words, like trying to hurt people. Like a curse word could be me calling you a jerk, or me calling you a bad mother, or something like that. Whereas like a cuss word is like, dang, I just stepped in dog shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm just using a comment that says, so I believe there's two different things, So I
Absolutely.
do my best not to curse people, I don't believe that God's sitting up there with like the new Webster's dictionary of what we deem cuss words are in 2021 and saying like, oh, you said shit, huh? Like can't make it now,
Yeah.
So and then as far as in battle rap, like I never use those words, right? But if they're in context and they help portray like a point, I'm not against using them. I
Yeah.
battle Rosenberg Raw, and one of the words he uses a lot is pussy. He says that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's like, so when I did my impression of him, I used that word in my impression because he's probably gonna say that in the rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It don't hurt
Absolutely.
my heart to say that. It don't hurt. I didn't call him, I
Yeah.
didn't, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where that aspect of it goes. Like you're not gonna see it littered throughout my material. It's never gonna be the main focus or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like if you're communicating a point and it's in context, I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta stop acting like due to what someone believes in, and certain things are taboo for them to say. Like that's just
The thing for me is just to be mindful that no matter what, even though I can explain it to you in detail like that, Ryder or Lou Castro or Fonzo is gonna be like, oh yeah, you cussing and
oh yeah,
you
that's still not gonna
drinking
change.
Long Island iced teas in the parking lot and you a hypocrite. And
Yeah,
like I'm like, all right, bro.
yeah, that's
That's
still
what I'm
not gonna
saying.
change. Battle rap,
Yeah.
like angles or rounds
And
or
so
whatever.
that's one of the reasons why I mean I say we as a horseman, we got to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of just what can create angles if it's more beneficial for us in the moment or the long run. So
Pop some shit real quick. Where do you think you at in certain categories? Because I'm hearing your name as now a top 5 angler in battle rap, top 5. Like people have just kind of put you at the forefront currently of the best rebuttal guy in the game. Do you list yourself in certain aspects on certain categories, and if so, where do you rank yourself in certain lists?
um man, if I had to, I mean, I think I'm the best rebuttaler right now. I think I'm the best rebuttaler in battle rap right now.
Mm,
I also believe that I have a top 10 pin. I know they had the top 10 pin list discussion, and
yeah,
there was a couple people that brought me on. Um, when it comes to angles, I wouldn't put myself in the top 5 or 10, and I think it's based off just I don't angle a whole lot. I angle punches, but
yeah,
like there's very few rounds like Ilmax, the third round against Ilmax, that was an angled round about
yeah.
the alcohol and stuff like that,
I like the
which I thought
joint
I
like
thought I
that.
executed it very, very well. You
You
know what I
did.
mean? So if I need to angle, I can, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put myself up there with some of the guys that are, that do it on a consistent basis at a top level. But I think what I really pride myself on is being versatile and well-rounded. And I think I'm definitely probably one of the top 5 most, like,
That's
you don't know
that's
what you're
safe.
getting when you battle Ward. Like I can hit you with schemes, I can hit you with rebuttals, punches, high energy performance. I can do it all. It's not like you're battling, somebody that jokes a lot, or that somebody that angles a lot or whatever. So
Did you personally make a top 10 pin list? Like Loso and Chilla?
I did. I don't have it on me, but I did. I made it, but I had a handful of people and some good honorable mentions. Like I had Bricks Belvedere in my honorable mentions,
Mm.
and some guys that I thought that really kind of embodied and still actively use their pen very, very well, that were not getting any notoriety in like the main pen lists. But I
Mm.
was one of the ones also that left out guys like Danny Myers and Rum Nitty based off their ability to punch being used as like a pin thing rather than what I constitute a pin, you know?
What's the difference in formulating a well structured punch as it not equating as having a nice pin? What's the
Yeah, I
difference
think a
there?
pin to me, like a pin takes you somewhere. You know what I mean? Like a pin brings everything full circle, and a pin is like complete thought, and it's like it's seamless. You know what I mean?
Okay.
From the start to the bar to the transition to the next thing, it's layered. There's stuff that you catch on cam. You know what I mean? Like you didn't catch in the building. Whereas you can be one of the best punchers and it be digestible material. You know, the setup cannot be, cannot rhyme as well, or the setup can just be like, grip on the laser, hit with the haters, I bit with the and then boom, the punch is incredible, and it's like, okay, cool. Like the next line is like silencer, potato on the barrel. It's like, bro, you're saying the same thing you said last time. You just hit me with another crazy punch. That's not a pin to me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so that's what I would say. Is like,
Is that only reserved for the punchers though? But what about a schemer like Chilla? What would he
yeah, I
would
would
he
say that
focus?
if he was just scheming out of nowhere, the old Chilla, you know what I mean? Like whereas he kind of created scheming, but sometimes like which I loved at the time, the old Chilla, when he did Disney songs, it'll go bam, be behind your Suzuki, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh, I'm creating a situation, in my head. Like I love Danny Myers to death. I think he's one of the best battle rappers of all time. But I talked about this in his parallel universes. It's like, bro, if you create the situation, you should be able to write the most craziest stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I tell you, I don't have a niece. I don't have a niece named Tara, right? I
Yeah.
don't. But if I wanted to say I put my niece on an ex Tara, you know what I mean? Like I could just create a
That's
scenario and just
crazy.
make up Tony and just do what, you know what I mean? Like that's not that's not effective writing to me. And it
No.
just is like when I did the BC era joint against Bill Collector, like it
Classic.
had all complete thoughts about his career. It was an angle, came back, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no,
And
that's writing to
yeah,
me.
it tied it up, have a crescendo. That
Yeah.
makes sense. I agree with that. Hashtag Denny setups. We are having fun with that, by the way.
Oh, and I give Danny a hard time, but he's one of the best ever. Like he
Yeah.
really is.
Oh, he definitely is, but he still be getting these jokes. We still get these jokes off over here. So we
Yeah.
definitely had a hashtag Danny setup, and we was doing that on Twitter. We can keep that going for the rest of the week. That'll
No,
make my
I like your shirt. What does that say? Native?
yeah. That's native. Yes
That's
sir.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah
You like
yeah.
mine? Mine's nice too, bro. That's just
Yeah, shout out to Geechee, man. Speaking of that, man, you guys be talking so heavy over a battle, all spawned off of a battle, which you won. I think I figure you want me to point that out.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
that you won very, very clearly. And that's been what 3-4 years ago already. How long is that?
2018, I think. Yeah, it was like May of 2018, so 3 years ago. Yeah.
Why is this energy still there? And who keeps this energy going? Really, is it you? Is
Both
it
of
him?
us? Nah, it's both of us. I mean, at the end of the day, the fans are always, saying, "Yeah, but you lost the award or whatever," and he'll respond to them, and then when it's approached to me, like I don't go out of my way just wake up on Wednesday and tweet I beat Geechee Gotti. You know what I mean? That you've never seen that. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But like if a question's posed to me in an interview like this,
yeah.
it'll get clipped down or whatever. And then we'll be back talking about it. But I mean, it just stems from like one, how tremendous his career has been since then. The fact that he doesn't really clearly lose battles, and it's so funny that I bought this hoodie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like unfortunately, like it's got like a little ink stain, like right. I mean, I ain't returning or nothing, right? But
Uh,
but I thought to myself, I was like, yo, this hoodie is like dang near perfect, but
it's
there's a little blemish, like right here, and I'm like, I literally was
oh
like.
my
And I
goodness.
don't know about you, but like I can't stop looking at the blemish, right? Like I mean, the hoodie fits perfect,
It's
bro. The material
symbolic, is what
is
you're saying.
nice, bro. It's nice. Everything's good, but I'm always looking over here over my shoulder. And I'm like, dog, with this little ink stain, bro. And so, yeah. So like, but that's
That's
kind of the
did you
the
did you
mind.
create that today? Did you do that today?
Hey, bro, look, everything's a bar. Everything's a bar on this.
That's wild.
But
Geechee's
yeah,
a
the
world to
energy's
watch
there
this.
because one, he's done a tremendous thing with his career. Like had he just kind of been a run of the mill URL battler,
Right.
it is what it is. But he's been a tremendous a battler, and I'm brought up often, like in his battles and in conversations.
Yeah.
And he's gone on record to say he didn't care about the battle, or he didn't even try, and he did. And so things like that are kind of like make people want to know, like, yo, like, what would it look like if you did try? You know what I mean? And so I think that's why the rematch, is in such high demand. And we're both good at talking trash. We're
Yeah.
both good at the back and forth. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with that, with
And
him,
no, I did not put the thing on there on purpose. No, I promise I didn't. And listen, this is not a complete diss act. Like this stuff is really nice for real. So make sure y'all go support him.
it's too late now. It's too late. It's too late. You can't double back from that. Salute. Nobody gets a war. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. This is my guy. Listen, with Geechee and you having a back and forth, y'all are at two totally different places right now. Do you think? I mean, realistically, if that ever was to happen, how far along are you from the war that we seen then till now? Like what has advanced that would still make you feel like, even though he ain't gotten better, of course, I would probably still beat him because of what? What would that be?
um, I've got a lot more comfortable. I've got a lot more confidence since then. Which is odd because you look at the battle and I'm just barking on Gotti, and you're like, yo, I don't think you lack confidence in that battle at all. But I think breath control and just picking. Back then, I was still kind of on the whole like, yo, everything should be layered and everything should be this. And now I'm kind of learning how to be more controlled and digestible, and still layered. I think my confidence in rebuttaling and like what I'm able to do is just way way better than it was then. I think he's gotten better as well. But I don't think that really the battle itself was because he wasn't good. I just think that there really are such things as style clashes in battle rap.
Facts.
And I don't think Geechee has battled anybody else like me since then and shown that like this is what I would have done to A Ward had I been on my A game.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think we both have gotten a lot better. But I think that ultimately, I'll say this much, bro. Like, there's probably a lot of really, really good name flips and bars left for him to use on me, and I'm probably like kind of looking at second tiers type stuff because I flipped and did different things with Geechee. But 3 years later, there's a lot of angles and stuff too that are new and fresh and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that if it happens, bro, like it'll be a very, very good battle.
So you aren't opposed to a rematch?
Nah, I've never been
Because
opposed
usually
to
the
it.
winner is like, nah, I beat you already. I'm good.
Nah, because at the end of the day, I did beat him. But like the shade that I got because of how big his career, like went up and everybody was just like he didn't care about that battle. Look where it happened. Look where it this. Look where that. Like I didn't get. Had I beat him on King of the Dot or RBE or URL, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the respect to where like in this rematch, if I go in there and it's debatable or it's a classic or whatever like that, like that's gonna benefit me more because it's gonna be like, bro, you had no excuse now. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Yeah, I like that type of talk. Before we get out of here, I want to ask because my wife and her family on their side very heavy Christians, and I told them like I talked to battlers who believe the same things as you. They actually go around the town, to go around the countries, talking to people, getting the word out. Are you in Loso? I see Loso. I believe I seen him still doing that. Are you still actively, having speeches and
Oh yeah,
going to
bro.
events and talking to
Yeah,
the people?
2 weeks ago we did a thing called Manhood Camp in San Bernardino, California. So they had
I'm
the
sorry, I
Horsemen.
just got totally off of bad rap. I just care about this.
No,
I was
no, 100%. Yeah, we do that a lot, and that's that's one of our main focuses too.
mm,
Well, I explain to people a lot of times that we started out with the Four Horsemen IV, and then we added Oops, and Oops is an element of the Horsemen that pertains to battle rap and what we do, but we still do have the entity of IV, which is the four Christian battle rappers or Christian rappers, Christian artists that go to churches and go to different avenues and do things. So that IV still lives. So if you
okay.
see merch and if you see things that say IV, it's not Oops is not a part of this or whatever what it may be. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, San Bernardino, we were there for Manhood Camp. There's a nonprofit group that was like Urban Scholastic And then there's Rescue a Generation, another nonprofit group. Basically, they bring in teenage boys from 12 to 18, and they teach them just like different things, man, like how to use power tools, how to fashion, different things.
That's
Like
fire.
growing up, there was tents. They all camped out all weekend. We hooped with them. We kicked it with them. We ate. We all battled each other. So I actually battled Loso Friday night. Me and Saga battled Loso in Street Saturday, and then I battled Guns in St. Louis on Sunday. So yeah,
that's crazy.
So and we actually battle. Like we write in battle. Like we don't rob the fans, and just say the same thing that we said some other time. Like we literally.
Are y'all keeping score or who got who?
Nah, we don't keep score.
Oh, dang, y'all gotta keep score, man. I'm just curious to see how those turn out.
Yeah, but I mean, we do. When I say we actually battle, we write and we battle, but we practice it with each other. You know what I mean? So we know before the battle. So sometimes Loso be cheating though. He try to get into a rebuttal bag on stage, and I'm like, word? Really, bro? Yeah. So, but that's yeah, crazy. Like I said, we still do things like that.
Okay.
We've got some opportunities coming up for some spoken word. If your wife and their family might have heard the Poets in Autumn tour, there's some incredible spoken word artists, Jackie Hill Perry, Ezekiel, and people like that are really, really well known. We're able to start working with them. We're going to do some touring that way as well. Street Hymns has been doing a lot of just open dialogues and just speaking engagements. And so, yeah, man, we're active, bro. We're active out here.
That's fire. Speaking of the Horsemen, do you foresee you guys adding someone else who makes sense? Because, I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at Prestavia, and I'm like, y'all better make a move before she joins somewhere else, or she don't need to be joining, man.
Oh, man.
I know y'all probably done heard that already.
No, if it makes sense and we get on we get to a point to where we want to make that move, yeah. But I will tell you this much. I'm the one that's like, and I don't know. I like what we got going on. Like, and I'm like that. And that's no disrespect to the character or person of anybody else.
Right.
But like, I prefer like the tight knit.
Yeah, you like a small circle.
I know this person's gonna show up. I know they not gonna choke. I know they not. You know what I mean? I know they're professionals. You know what I mean? I know that they're gonna. And so that's, like I said, that's not a diss to anybody that might be a possible addition in the future. But I would say that I am the one that you got to convince, like
some final boss.
Man, we could have probably had like 10 or 12 members by now.
Got to clear A ward first. So, but that's good that you're putting that out there, because that sets a precedent for anyone who has prospects of joining to know what they got to get into. They got to be prepped. They got to be on time. They got to be professional on and off the stage, which is very important. Like I can say, outside of Young Gaddis, Ward and Loso have been on this show, and they've always been on time, always had their cameras and everything ready. So, like, they're professional in every sense of the word, not just when they're performing. So that's real. And
like that's the compliments I yearn for, bro. Is like when I left St. Louis, like was like, bro, like it was so easy working with you as a battle rapper. You know what I mean? Like when I left Philly, like Battle Academy was like, you're one of the most professional people we've ever worked for. Like, I know my talent is going to garner, a good performance, but it's those other things, that help you build with people, because, they're spending their hard work and money, and they're using their time and their platform to, partner with you, and you want to just make sure you're always mindful of that.
Absolutely, man. I want to wrap things up. I just want to say thank you for your time. For those who missed this will be dropping later on YouTube, Top Tier Podcast. Please subscribe, probably around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ward, I want to thank you for your time. You're a busy guy, but always great to have you on the show. The people always ask, when can I get you on here? And I deliver for the people, man. So I want to say thank you for that, man. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, man. And y'all listen, Street Hymns is on a tear this year, man. If y'all are not paying attention to what Hymns is doing, make sure y'all go check him out. URL, y'all need to book Saga. Make sure y'all get my guy Saga back. He's out here wilding on some other leagues. Get him back. Loso's about to go 30 twerk here in a couple weeks. The Horsemen are active. Oops been killing it on the URL app. Look, man, I'm just happy to be amongst great people that encourage me and push me to be great, man.
Yeah, y'all. I can't. I ain't just saying it because you hear the Horsemen got the best squad right now. Debate it with somebody else. That's all I got to say, man. We out of here. Appreciate friends. Bad Money coming in. All of the supporters who always hold down the show, man. Y'all are everything to me. Without me, there is no. Without you, there is no me. There is no no platform without all of y'all. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. So I love y'all. And as always, see y'all later. This was A War Interview signing off. Keep it
God
battle
is
rap
good.
all the time. Peace and love, y'all. Later.